Imagine this. The year is 2000 BC. The afternoon sun hangs directly above your head. The temperature is over 45 degrees Celsius. There is no electricity, no fan, no air conditioner, no refrigerator, not even a bottle of cold water waiting inside your home. The ground beneath your feet is so hot that walking barefoot could burn your skin. The wind itself feels like someone is blowing hot air from a giant furnace. Now ask yourself, how long could you survive here? 1 hour? 1 day? Maybe not even that. Yet thousands of years ago, millions of people lived under these conditions every single day. They raised families, built cities, created powerful kingdoms, and survived some of the hottest places on Earth. How? That question has fascinated historians for decades, because the truth is, ancient people didn't have modern technology, but they had something even more valuable. They understood nature, and that understanding became their greatest weapon against the heat. Today, we're uncovering the forgotten cooling secrets of ancient civilizations, secrets so brilliant that modern architects are still using them today. Let's travel back in time. As dawn broke over an ancient desert city, life slowly began. Children walked toward nearby wells carrying clay pots. Merchants opened wooden market stalls. Farmers prepared their animals before heading toward the fields. Everyone worked quickly, because everyone knew the peaceful morning wouldn't last long. Within a few hours, the desert would become an oven. The streets would empty. Even birds would disappear into the shade. But something strange happened every afternoon. Although outside temperatures became unbearable, inside many homes it remained surprisingly cool. Travelers often couldn't believe it. Stepping inside felt like entering another world. How was this possible? The answer was hidden inside the walls. Ancient builders rarely used concrete. Instead, they built with mud, clay, stone, and straw. Today, those materials may seem primitive, but they were actually incredibly intelligent choices. Thick mud walls absorbed heat very slowly. Instead of allowing the afternoon sun to instantly heat the rooms, the walls stored the heat inside themselves. By the time that heat finally reached the interior, the sun had already begun to set. Then, during the cool desert night, the walls slowly released that stored heat back outside. Nature itself cooled the house, without electricity, without machines, without pollution. Modern scientists call this thermal mass. Ancient people simply called it home. But cool walls alone weren't enough. Fresh air was equally important. That's why ancient architects carefully designed every building to work with the wind. Windows weren't placed randomly. Every opening had a purpose. One window allowed cool air inside, another allowed hot air to escape. As wind moved through the house, it carried heat away naturally. Today, we call this cross-ventilation. It's still one of the smartest ways to cool buildings. Thousands of years later, modern eco-friendly homes continue using exactly the same idea. Then came perhaps the greatest invention of all, the windcatcher. Ancient Persian engineers built tall towers above their homes. From a distance, they looked like ordinary towers, but they were actually giant air collectors. Whenever the wind blew, the tower captured it high above the ground, then directed that cool air down through narrow channels into the rooms below. Hot air naturally rose and escaped. Fresh, cool air replaced it. No electricity, no moving parts, only physics. Some windcatchers even passed air across underground water channels before it entered the house. This cooled the air even further. Imagine that, natural air conditioning more than 2,000 years before electricity existed. Even today, many of these ancient windcatchers still stand proudly in Iran. Architects from around the world continue studying their incredible design. Ancient people also understood something many of us have forgotten. Sometimes changing your routine is easier than changing the weather. Instead of working during the hottest hours, they woke before sunrise. Farmers harvested crops early. Builders finished heavy work before noon. By midday, everyone rested. Families gathered inside cool homes. Children slept. Merchants closed their shops. When evening arrived, life returned once again. This simple lifestyle protected people from dangerous heat while saving energy they didn't even know existed. Water became another secret weapon. Many homes had small fountains placed inside central courtyards. Others sprinkled water across stone floors. Some families hung wet cloth over windows. As warm air passed through the damp fabric, the water slowly evaporated. Evaporation removes heat. The air became cooler before entering the room. Modern evaporative coolers work exactly the same way. Thousands of years later, we're still using the same science. Clay pots played another important role. Imagine drinking water on a scorching summer afternoon. No refrigerator, yet the water feels refreshingly cool. Why? Because clay contains millions of tiny microscopic pores. Tiny amounts of water slowly escape through these pores. As that water evaporates, it takes heat away with it. The remaining water becomes naturally cooler. Simple, effective, completely powered by nature. Ancient cities themselves were masterpieces of climate engineering. Their streets were narrow, buildings stood close together. Throughout most of the day, the streets remained covered in shade. Direct sunlight rarely reached the ground. The result, entire neighborhoods stayed significantly cooler. Large courtyards filled with trees added even more comfort. Trees didn't simply provide shade, they released moisture into the air through their leaves. This natural process lowered surrounding temperatures. Today, scientists call this transpiration. Ancient people simply knew where trees grow, life becomes cooler. Perhaps the greatest lesson wasn't architecture, it was wisdom. Ancient civilizations accepted something modern society often forgets. Nature is stronger than us. Instead of trying to defeat it, they learned to cooperate with it. They built smarter homes instead of bigger machines. They planted trees instead of removing them. They followed the rhythm of the sun instead of fighting against it. Their greatest invention wasn't technology, it was observation. Generation after generation, people watched the wind, studied the sun, learned from rivers, copied the behavior of nature itself, and because of that, they survived. Today, we spend billions of dollars every year cooling our homes. Air conditioners make life easier, but they also consume enormous amounts of electricity. They produce heat outside while cooling inside. They contribute to climate change. Ironically, as our technology grows stronger, the planet becomes hotter. Maybe the future doesn't only lie in creating newer machines. Maybe some of the answers have been waiting for us, hidden inside the wisdom of the past, because sometimes the oldest ideas become the smartest solutions. So the next time you switch on your air conditioner, take a moment to remember the incredible civilizations that survived the world's hottest climates using nothing but intelligence, patience, and the power of nature. They proved something remarkable. You don't always need more technology. Sometimes you simply need a better understanding of the world around you. If you enjoyed this journey into the ancient world, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tell us in the comments, could you survive one full day without air conditioning or a fan? Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and never stop being curious.